Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you a full body workout that you can do with just resistance bands. Let's go! Okay, the first exercise we'll do is the band pull apart. Here, you want to hold your band out in front of you at chest height. Your hands should be shoulder width apart. Then, pull the band apart by thinking about squeezing your shoulder blades together. Return to the starting position. As well, we'll go into working your shoulders next with the lateral raises. What you see here is the lateral raise. Stand on your band with a shoulder width stance. Raise your arms laterally to shoulder height while keeping the elbows slightly bent. Remember, slightly bent. Straightening your elbows will place unnecessary stress on them, which can lead to injury in the long run. 10 more seconds. Massaging your shoulders? Well, me too. That's why we're going to move on to the back next. Stand in the middle of your band, then hinge forward at your hips while keeping your back straight. Pull the bands toward your torso, making sure that your hands stay by your side. The cue to remember here is to initiate the movement with your back instead of your arms. That means the movement should start from your elbows. Catch your breath, because the next exercise is pretty challenging. Yes, push-ups! For this, you want to loop the resistance band around your back. Secure the ends with your palms against the floor. Your body should form a straight line from your ankles to your head. Remember to squeeze your glutes and brace your abs throughout the movement. Don't worry if you can't do the full push-up. An easier alternative to do would be the push-ups on knees. Catch your breath, because we are going to move on to overhead presses next. Here, you want to step on the middle of your band and hold the band just slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Press the band directly over your shoulders, and with that, you should feel the contraction in your shoulders. That means you're working the right muscle group. To finish off our shoulder work, we'll do rear delt flies next. Here, you want to stand on your bend with a shoulder width stance. Hinge at the hips and keep your knees slightly bent. Keep your back flat. Then, simply raise your arms out to the side. Remember to initiate the movement with your rear delt. Don't just flap your arms up and down. That defeats the purpose of this exercise. Almost there. Rest time. Catch your breath, take a tiny sip of water because we are going to move on to the chest next. What you see here is the incline chest press, which works the upper chest. You can basically think of this as the same exercise as the overhead press, with the only difference being that instead of pushing the bands above your head, you're pressing your arms at a 45-degree angle in front of you. Don't rush through the reps. You really want to feel the exercise in your upper chest. Alright, that's incline chest presses done and dusted. We're going to move on to bicep curls next. So, here, you want to stand with both feet on your bend, and you want to use your biceps to curl your hands up to the shoulders. Have a slight pause at the end to really feel your biceps working. Remember to lower it down in a controlled manner too. You don't want to just use momentum to carry the bands up and down. That's it, you're doing great! Rest well, catch your breath, and we're going to move on to tricep kickbacks. Okay, so you want to bend slightly at the knees and hinge forward with your hips. From here, you pull the band back. Only your forearms should move. That means your elbows should stay stationary by your side throughout the movement. Remember to keep a flat back throughout. You should be feeling the burn in your triceps now. Hang in there! Alright, we're almost halfway through that workout. Wipe off the sweat and get ready because the upcoming exercises are going to hit the lower body and abs.
I can tell you want me, but don't make a move. That will only scare me. This love is just for you. Yeah, I got my reasons why I can't receive.
And we're gonna start off with the standing glute kickbacks. You can choose whichever leg to start with first, but I'm starting with my right side. As you can see, the movement is really small, and that's all you need as long as you feel a strong contraction in your glutes. Remember to keep your upper body as still as possible. I also find that placing my feet back on the ground after every rep helps me maintain my balance, so see if that works for you. Right glute done, left glute next.
Feel like I'm broken hearted, but I feel it's real. I got many reasons why I can't receive.
Alright, same exercise cues as before. Remember to keep your core tight and engaged throughout the movement. Feel your glutes in every rep. Feel that tightness in your glutes? Good! Rest well, and we are going to continue hitting the glutes with the lateral walk next. With this exercise, you want to keep the band flat. Place it just above your knees, around your thighs. Bend your knees slightly and move into a half squat position. Then, you want to take 2 steps sideways, and then back. Keep your hips level during this movement. You want to make sure that it's your abductors that are working, and your back should be straight, not rounded. Rest time! Here, we have the squats. You want to stand on the band with your feet shoulder width apart. Hold the band next to your shoulder so it ends up behind your arms. Remember to keep your core tight and engaged throughout the movement. This exercise is a stiff-legged deadlift, and it helps build your hamstrings for that nice curve at the back of your legs. Here, you want to hinge at the hips and lean forward, almost as if you are picking something off the floor. Keep your legs as straight as you can. Really feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Remember not to hyperextend your back when you complete the rep. Just a few more exercises left. Here, we have the glute bridge. You want to lift your hips off the ground until your knees, hips and shoulders form a straight line. There is absolutely no need to arch your back at the top. Hold your bridge position for a couple of seconds before easing back down. We aren't done with the glutes just yet. Coming up next is the fire hydrant.
Feels like an ocean.
This is the fire hydrant, and what you want to do is get on all fours. Before doing anything, tighten your core. Then, lift your right leg away from your body to the side. You should feel the contraction in your adductors. Good. Keep going. Just a few more seconds. Right side done. So coming up next, left side. Essentially, repeat what you've done with your right leg. Remember all the exercise cues. Keep your core tight. Do not let your upper body sway from side to side as you perform the exercise. Well done! It's time for abs. And we're going to be starting with the Russian twist. Keep your back as straight as possible throughout the movement, so you'll fully engage your core. If you find it hard to stabilize, feel free to place your feet on the ground. Raising them just makes the movement slightly more challenging. Coming up next, woodchoppers.
When the day turns into night, it's you. Under my eyelid, one big fight.
Here, you want to start from the right and then lift the band diagonally across your body, ending twisted to the left with the band above. Really focus on the rotation initiating in your torso. You don't want to use momentum to get the band from the left to the right, then to the left again. That defeats the purpose of the exercise. Alright, one side down, next side coming up.
I'm a clenched fist in the rain for you. I'm mental patient, half insane. It's you.
Essentially, you do the same thing as you did with the previous exercise, except here, you start from the left, then lift the band diagonally across your body, ending twisted to the right, with the band above. Once again, initiate the movement with your abs. We're almost at the end of the workout. Just one more exercise to go, the clamshell. Here, you want to lie on your side with your legs stacked and knees bent. Then, raise your upper knee as high as you can without shifting your hips or pelvis. Remember to have a slight pause at the top of the movement and hold the contraction. Don't move your lower leg off the floor. Good. 10 more seconds left. One final exercise. This is the last stretch. Okay, just do what you did with the left leg, but with the right leg now. Remember to keep your hips and pelvis as still as possible throughout the movement. This way, you ensure that your abductors are working hard. And that's it, you're done! Yay! Alright, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the workout and be sure to let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. Be sure to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!